Okay, people, let's talk about flat earthers. Yes, they still exist. It's 2024, we've sent stuff to space, and some people still think the Earth is flat like a pancake. Believe it or not, the flat Earth idea goes way back. Ancient civilizations had different ideas about the world. Some thought it was flat. It wasn't until the Greeks, those toga-wearing philosophers, that the round Earth theory really took hold. Even in the Middle Ages, when people thought the Earth was the center of the universe, they still knew it was round. There's just too much evidence. Ships disappearing hull first over the horizon, different constellations in different hemispheres. Come on, but somehow, this flat Earth thing has crawled back from the dead. Like a zombie, it just won't die. And you know who to blame? The internet, of course. The internet is like a giant megaphone for any and all ideas, no matter how crazy. And believe me, the flat Earth theory is bat guano crazy. But on the internet, it's found new life. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, they've all become breeding grounds for flat Earth conspiracy theories. You got videos, memes, forums, you name it. It's a whole ecosystem of misinformation. And the worst part? The internet makes it really easy for people to find information that confirms what they already believe, even if it's completely false. It's called confirmation bias, and it's like a warm, fuzzy blanket for your brain, even if it's made of lies. So you have these flat Earth communities popping up online, reinforcing each other's delusions. They share their evidence, which is usually just misinterpretations of basic science or outright fabrications. It's enough to make your brain hurt. These online communities, they're like echo chambers. You only hear what you want to hear. And when everyone around you is saying the Earth is flat, well, it starts to sound less crazy, right? Wrong. But that's the danger of these echo chambers. They create a false sense of consensus. People start to think that their fringe beliefs are actually mainstream, when in reality, they're about as popular as a skunk at a picnic. And here's the thing. Once you're stuck in an echo chamber, it's really hard to get out. You're constantly being bombarded with the same misinformation, and any dissenting voices are quickly silenced or ridiculed. It's like trying to have a rational conversation in a room full of pigeons. So what do you get? People doubling down on their beliefs, even when presented with overwhelming evidence to the contrary. It's like trying to explain the color blue to a blind person. So, who are these flat earthers anyway? Are they just a bunch of tin-foil hat-wearing conspiracy nuts? Well, it's not that simple. Some flat earthers are genuinely curious about the world and just haven't been exposed to good science education. Others might be distrustful of authority figures or institutions, like governments and scientists. And then there are those who just love to go against the grain, the contrarians who think they're in the know while everyone else is just sheeple. But here's the thing. Believing the Earth is flat isn't just harmless eccentricity. It's a symptom of a much larger problem, the erosion of trust in science and expertise. And that's something we should all be worried about. Section 5. Conspiracy theories. The OG misinformation. Flat Earth belief is just one example of a much larger phenomenon. The rise of conspiracy theories. From vaccines causing autism to climate change being a hoax, conspiracy theories are everywhere these days. And you know what? They can have real-world consequences. People refusing to vaccinate their kids, leading to outbreaks of preventable diseases. People denying climate change, hindering efforts to address this global crisis. It's not a joke, people. So why are conspiracy theories so appealing? Well, for one, they offer simple explanations for complex problems. The world is a messy, confusing place. Conspiracy theories provide a sense of order and control, even if it's based on false information. Plus, they make people feel special, like they're in the know, privy to secret knowledge that the sheeple are too blind to see. It's a way of feeling superior to others, even if their beliefs are demonstrably wrong. Section 6. Science versus belief. A rocky relationship. The persistence of the flat Earth belief highlights a fundamental challenge. the tension between science and belief. Science is based on evidence, observation, and testing. Belief, on the other hand, is often rooted in faith, personal experience, or ideology. And sometimes, these two ways of understanding the world collide. When people are presented with scientific evidence that contradicts their deeply held beliefs, they often double down on those beliefs, even if it means rejecting reality. This is where things get tricky. You can't just force people to accept scientific facts. Belief doesn't work that way. You need to understand the underlying reasons for their skepticism and address them with empathy and respect. Section 7. Fighting back. Debunking the flat-out nonsense. So how do we fight back against the flat earth nonsense? Well, shouting at people and calling them idiots isn't going to help. Trust me, I've tried. No, we need to be smarter than that. We need to meet people where they are and engage with them in a respectful and open-minded way. We need to listen to their concerns, understand their perspectives, and address their doubts with patience and clarity. And most importantly, we need to teach people how to think critically. We need to equip them with the tools to evaluate information, identify misinformation, and distinguish between credible sources and snake oil salesmen. Section 8. Critical thinking, your brain's best defense. Critical thinking is like your brain's immune system. It helps you fight off the viruses of misinformation and conspiracy theories. It's about asking questions, evaluating evidence, and not just accepting things at face value. Here are a few things to keep in mind. Who's the source? Is it a credible news organization, a scientific journal, or some random YouTuber with a tinfoil hat? What's the evidence? Is it based on actual scientific studies, or is it just anecdotes and hearsay? Are there other explanations? Could there be another explanation for what they're claiming? Remember, just because something sounds plausible, or because a lot of people believe it, doesn't make it true. Always be skeptical, always question, and always think for yourself. Section 9. Building trust. The key to scientific literacy. At the end of the day, combating misinformation and promoting scientific literacy requires building trust. Trust in scientists, trust in institutions, and trust in the scientific process itself. And that trust needs to be earned. Scientists need to do a better job of communicating their findings to the public in a way that is clear, engaging, and relevant to people's lives. They need to be more transparent about their methods and acknowledge the limitations of their research. We also need to address the underlying societal issues that contribute to distrust in science, such as inequality, lack of access to education, and the spread of misinformation online. It's a complex problem, but it's not insurmountable. Section 10. The Flat Earth's Lesson. We can do better. The flat Earth phenomenon might seem like a joke, but it's a symptom of a much larger issue: the erosion of trust in science, expertise, and even basic facts. And that's no laughing matter. But it also presents an opportunity to improve science communication, to engage with people who hold different beliefs, and to build a more informed and critically thinking public. So, let's not just laugh at the flat earthers. Let's use this as a wake-up call. Let's work together to create a world where knowledge and reason prevail over misinformation and conspiracy theories. We owe it to ourselves and to future generations.